with the original red stripe tires. 64 GTO. Good looking car. How fast will he run? I'm going to tell you here in just a minute. He's pre-staged. He'll pull just a little further up and stage there and then set him off. And has some power. Perhaps needs a bigger tire. We've got Jim Brock out here in front of the tire taking still photos. If you see a car out here you like, or it is your car, get with Jim Brock. He's set up over on by the concession stand. 64 GTO goes to 1598. 1598 at 86 mile per hour with that headwind. Anyway, we got Jim Brock taking still photos. We got leg glider video with TV cameras out here at the starting line and at the finish line down there, and doing some great work with the TV cameras. Video tapes will be available. You got a order blank at the gate. If you'd like to have a tape of time trials today or eliminations, those will be available just by sending in your order blank. There will be a monitor set up here before long at the base of the tire. You can view some of these tapes. You'll have them set up on a monitor in a van, and you can see what kind of work they're doing down here with the TV cameras. And we're proud of them from Leg Glider Video. We see a 1496 at 95 mile per hour on the pit side. Here on the tire side, we get a 1598 at 83 mile per hour. That's just what the GTO ran, was a 1598. The racers will get on their time cards, their ET clear out to the thousandths of a second, and also their mile per hour. You'll notice the car on the tire side goes way deep across the lights there. We'll let him do it here during the time trials. During eliminations, we don't allow that, though. Also, he's got a big N on his window. That designates that car does not have a neutral safety switch. So it may start up in gear. Be aware of any car with a big N on the windshield of the back glass. All Pontiac race today from the Indian Uprising. Car show and swap meet. We're seeing some of our show cars gathering here just north of the tower. Is there something I don't need to see? A perfect reaction here is a .500. Racers get to see that on their time cards. We'll mention it from time to time. Car on the pit side has a .718 reaction. And he runs a 1603 at 82 mile per hour. Car on this side actually goes faster with a 1569 at 90 mile per hour, but he had a worse reaction. He had like a 1.341 reaction. In order to be competitive, you got to be in the 5.0s, the 5-teens. That's what they're doing. A little practicing here this morning, finding out what their car will run. Ralph Torella here on the tire side. Chuck Henderson on the pit side. $15.93 at 87 mile per hour here on the tire lane. Pit side goes at 1676 at 83 mile per hour. From Rollers Automotive Accessories. Beautiful cars. 64 GTO, a pair. Side and Alex Kelly on the other side with a pair of GTOs. Is one faster than the other? We'll find out. Not much. 1310 here on the tower side, a 1348 on the pit side. And that could change around. 101 mile per hour on the tower side, 98 on the pit side. And once again, we'd like to have cars with slicks in lanes 5, 6, and 7, or excuse me, cars with street tires in lanes 5, 6, and 7. We'd like to have those cars running slicks. You need to be in lanes 2, 3, and 4. So Firebird on the other side wants to get out there pretty quick. $12.32 at 108 mile per hour. On the pit side, we got an ET of a 14.16 at 95 mile per hour here on the tower side. Top fuel, top funny. Put on a really good show up there. We got to see the fastest ever top fuel dragster, 488 at 296 mile per hour. We got David Brown once again on the pit side, and Kevin Moore here on the tire lane. And that off pink colored Firebird. Okay, car there on the tower side got there first with a 1589 at 83 mile per hour. And here on the tire lane, or on the pit side, we get a 1607 at 82 mile per hour. Left too quick here on the tower side, gets a red light. Pit side gets there first with a 1035 at 127 mile per hour. And here on the tower lane with the red light, 1176 at 113 mile per hour. $15.11 at 90 mile per hour here on the tire side. $16.49 at 82 mile per hour on the pit side. Okay, both cars trying to find that red light, and they did. Both cars left too quick. We got a 353 on the pit side and a 351 here on the tower lane. Almost identical reactions. It's tough to do, clear out to the thousands. Pit side goes a 1557 at 87 mile per hour. Tower side's got an ET of a 1580, 83 mile per hour. GTO's a pair, different years here. I believe it's 67 on the tower lane, 66 or 7. 1488 at 84 mile per hour. On the pit side, tire side, we see a 1671 at 82 mile per hour. Once again, if you're not near a speaker, we are broadcasting 88.1 on your FM dial. You can catch the tire. If you choose to sit in your car, don't want to sit out in the wind, we are broadcasting 88.1 on your FM dial. Tom Wilhite here on the tire side with Wilhite Auto Service. He's out here racing every weekend with his GTO. And he was our track champion here a while back. He went to South Dakota with us to represent the Mid-America Dragway. He was a 1990 track champion. And the GTO goes at 1089, 119 mile per hour. And the pit side goes at 1286 at 100 mile per hour. Trials at this time. A little bit deep there on the pit side. A new racer. We're going to help him out there. The pre-stages and then stages. We'll turn the lights on for him. And off he goes. Once again, we are running time trials at this time. We'll run time trials to around 1 o'clock today. So should have plenty of time for the time trials you need to find out how your car will run. Tire side goes at 1518 at 89 mile per hour. Pit side goes at 1730 at 75 mile per hour. Pit side gets there first with a 1518 at 89 mile per hour. And the tire side goes a 1577 at 87 mile per hour. We're going to warm up the country here come next Sunday, in fact, right here at Mid-America. $14.99 at 94 mile per hour here on the tire side. Pit side may be 15, it's 1514 at 88 mile per hour. $14.63 at 95 mile per hour for the white Trans Am. Pit side goes at 1684 at 81 mile per hour. Once again, the top 4 winners in all 3 of these classes. And then the winners of these classes get to run against each other in eliminations today. There will be some money prizes, also trophy classes. We see a 507 reaction there on the pit side for the GTO. Runs at 1212 at 109 with that 507 reaction. And the tire side goes at 1475 at 90 mile per hour. Once again, Sharon Wilhite doing the driving. Right on down the track. I'll let you know what the ET is here in just a millisecond. 1199 at 108 mile per hour with the headwind. Pit side goes at 1418 at 94 mile per hour. Yes, we've got power. We got power on the pit side. We just don't have any traction. Car might go fast if it had some traction. And the GTO here on the tire lane is going to get down there with an ET of a 1561, 87 mile per hour. And the powerful GTO on the pit side goes to 1719 at 85 mile per hour. I ready to run in the 15s if he had some traction. Tighter down here, just below the tire. If you're interested in our videotapes today, and I hope you are, she's got them available here at the base of the tire from races of the past here. From the Nostalgia race, I believe those are ready, and Truett and Osborne race, some of our Super Gas race, Ford race, any of the races we've had here in the past. If you'd like to preview those, she's got a monitor set up down here so that you can see what kind of tapes you're going to be buying, and they are of the highest quality. We've had Leg Lighter video service out here all season long, making good with the tapes and stuff here. 1279 at 103 here on the tower lane. Pit side goes 1291 at 102 mile per hour. Ken Leglighter and his crew's been out here figuring out just how to set up the TV cameras and different items, the sound and equipment to make the best possible tape we've seen in a long time from Leglighter Video Service. Once again, if you're interested in our tapes, they are available here at the base of the tire in the blue van. And if you'd like to view some of the tapes, she does have a monitor set up here at the base of the tire. Hopefully you were here to watch the Nostalgia race. We do have those tapes available. The Top Fuel Dragster put on a pretty good show. He did break the car on his full pass, but he did shake, rattle, and roll all the cement tires, and everybody's standing around here. We went to Topeka a week ago and seen some Top Fuel cars run. Seen the fastest ever Top Fuel car run a 488 at 296 mile per hour right here in the state of Kansas. Heartland Nationals in Topeka. 1584 is the ET here on the tire side, 89 mile per hour. Pit side we see a 1736 at 79 mile per hour. I think I'd call that pink, wouldn't you? $1381 at 96 mile per hour here on the tire side. $14.96 at 88 mile per hour. Once again, during eliminations, we have some other goodies for you. $20 each to the best winning reaction in eliminations in each of the classes, I understand, and the quickest ET in eliminations is going to have some money available for you. $13.97 at 97 mile per hour. Tire side goes to $16.78 at 82 mile per hour. Just don't get any traction there with the street tires on the convertible GTO. Just smokes them about 300 feet out there. We do have the power, just not any traction. We see a 1554, 87 mile per hour here on the tire lane. Pit side ET is a 1747 at 88 mile per hour. $14.75 here on the tire lane at 90 mile per hour, and pit side ET is a 15.54 at 88 mile per hour. ZP fuel or alcohol, give it a chance. It's not cheap, but it does work. It's like I'm sure you'll find out some cleaner race fuel is on his way in. If you're in your car and would like to hear us here in the tower, it's pressing on 88.1 on your FM dial. We see the ET of a 1244 to 106 here on the tower lane. And on the pit side, a 1314 at 102 mile per hour. Thirteen fifty one at 74 mile per hour. Pit side 1417, 89 mile per hour. Okay, we'll let the Firebird make his way down there. He runs a 1601 at 82 mile per hour, and apparently a new racer on the pit side. We'll let him restage and set him off here in just a second. Ten thirty-five at 127 mile per hour. Tire side goes at 1381 at 96 mile per hour. It is in the pit area down there. There's a couple guys helping out with that, getting a number put on your car. That's where you turn in your entry card also. You must fill out the front of it the best you can, and also sign it front and back. That is turned in at the Tech Shack. $15.02 at 90 mile per hour here on the tire side. Pit side we see a 1690 at 81 mile per hour. Good looking convertible GTO here on the tire side. We do have that on film from Leg Lighter Video. Even time trials today, and of course eliminations. These cars that's running today in time trials and of course in elimination are going to be running for a trophy and also some money for some of the winners who are going to another round of eliminations after the first show up of cars. We get a 1434 of 96 mile per hour, pit side of 1527 at 58 mile per hour. Eliminations today will be about 6 different classes. And the winners. According to Tom Wilhite, that El Paso Auto Parts has supplied. So if you find yourself with a broken part, we may have a replacement for you. $14.06 at 96 mile per hour. On the pit side, tire side, we see a 1619 at 84 mile per hour. $15.53 at 95 mile per hour on the pit side. Tire side, 1746 at 57 mile per hour. Freddie Fudd?
Eddie.
Eddie, okay. Where's Eddie from?
AC.
Park City? 13 years old? He's 16 years old. Okay, you do have a boyfriend. Reminds me of a mud fence. I seen him the other day. Ugly boy. You need to get another different boyfriend. I'm telling you right now. 1484 at 94 mile per hour on the pit side. Tire side goes at 1668 at 82 mile per hour. How long you had this boyfriend?
10 months.
10 months. Tire side gets there first with a 1598, 83 mile per hour. Pit side gets here with a 1713 at 76 mile per hour. And looks like the wind's going to stay with us most of the day here, right out of the south. The last 2 weekends we've had a north wind helping out the racers. This weekend, a little different story. Of course, now our Pontiac race. Coming up next week, we got jet cars coming in here. Going to warm things up a little bit out of Leveland Racing out of Texas. We'll be in here next Sunday, in fact, with their jet cars making all kinds of noise. 1421 at 94 mile per hour. Pit side goes a 1516 at 89 mile per hour. Twelve sixty one at 105 on the pit side. Tire side goes to 1610 at 82 mile per hour. Lots of nice looking cars. If you are on the spectator side, you're welcome to cross over into the pit area. Just be careful doing so. Nice looking car here out of Illinois, I believe. 1580 on the pit side, 1331 on the tire side, the last pair of cars. And I believe this is not your average street car, probably a little super gas type car. We'll find out how fast it goes here. And jumps out there pretty good, has to let off, gets crooked on him. Still runs a 1308. 1308. I'm sure he's wanting to check the track out. Be back and try it again here in a few minutes. Fair, we'll set him off. Pit side goes a 1396. 93 mile per hour. Tower side we see an ET of a 1688 at 77 mile per hour. 1601 at 82 mile per hour. Here on the tire side, and the pit side runs a 1683 at 82 mile per hour. Trying to get our cars with street tires into lanes 4, 5, and 6. And if you're running slicks, we'd like to have you in lanes 2, 3, and 4. $12.55 at 105 on the pit side. Tire side, we see a 1523 at 88 mile per hour. $12.66 at 105 on the pit side, and an ET of a 1476 at 92 mile per hour here on the tire line. Once again, we do have fuel available if you're wanting to try some high octane fuel. We've got Klinger race fuel over there. And that is Klinger, isn't it? I believe it is. Yeah, it's Klinger himself selling race fuel for you just on the east side of the concession stand. 1463 at 95 mile per hour on the pit side. Tire side, we see a 1608 at 82 mile per hour. Are you selling fuel today, Klinger, or giving it away? No, you're not 1 year old. I guess you're selling it, right? $15.59 at 88 mile per hour, and on the pit side we see a 1687 at 77 mile per hour. Ken Worley here on the tire side, calling his car the Old Warrior. I believe there's another one out here by that name. I believe out of Missouri. I see some Missouri names on there, and the Kansas City area. Good looking GTO. $11.86 at 107 mile per hour for the Old Warrior here on the tire side. Pit side we see a 1220 at 108 mile per hour. Good running GTO here on the tire side. Leaves just a little bit too quick though. Found the red light. Had a 475 reaction. Once again, a .500 being a perfect reaction. And he runs a 12 flat at 110 mile per hour. 12 flat for the GTO here on the tire side. Pit side runs a 1510 at 92 mile per hour. .516 reaction there on the pit side. If he can do that all day long, may win himself a race. Tire side gets there first with a 1336 at 103 mile per hour. And we see an ET of a 1518 at 94 mile per hour on the pit side. And thought he wanted to leave, left a little bit too quick here on the tire side, found himself a red light. Parts available today from El Paso Auto Supply out of Derby, Kansas today. If you're needing some parts for your car, if you break it or find a leak or something, we have some parts to help you out with. What about tools? You got any tools to work on your car with? If not, we got Elwood Marshall with Snap-on Tools over in the pit area. Sure, he'd be glad to help you out from Snap-on Tools. We see a 1439 here on the tire side at 94 mile per hour, and then a 1651 at 86 on the pit side. I want to thank Schofield Pontiac out of Wichita helping out with the trophies. You've probably seen most of the trophies at the gate when you come in. They were bought and paid for by Schofield Pontiac. So appreciate their interest in our all Pontiac race. And finding out there's a lot of good-looking Pontiacs around the country. 1270, or excuse me, 1297, 102 on the pit side. Tire side runs 13 flat at 102 mile per hour. If you're buying pump gas, you're probably buying 87, 88 octane. I believe this is 110 or 104 octane. Maybe 104, I'm not sure. That 104 or 110, Klinger? 104 or 110? 200. 200 octane. Who knows? Anyway, it's good fuel from VP. It does make your car run a heck of a lot better. If it's been pinging or not shutting off, you won't do it with this type of fuel. Okay, these cars wanting to get down there pretty quick. A 1032 at 127 mile per hour, right into that headwind on the tire side. Pit side, we see 1114 at 119 mile per hour. Racers are working on their reaction, also finding out what their ET is today in the time trials. You're probably finding out your first pass out, not exactly what you thought it might be. Usually it gets better after a couple of runs. We see a 1501 on the pit side at 90 mile per hour. Here on the tire side, we see an ET of a 1608 when you pull up here to the line. Fifteen oh eight at 90 mile per hour on the pit side. Tire side goes to 1712 at 81 mile per hour. $14.87 at 94 mile per hour on the pit side. Tire side goes to $16.95 at 76 mile per hour. Now this is something different. I'm not sure what I'm looking at here. 8-wheel bolt pattern, 59 Pontiac Catalina. I haven't seen one, I don't believe. Convertible. It's from where? From Rose Hill, Kansas. A rare bird. I wonder what the value of something like that would be. Nice looking car. Has the 8-bolt wheel pattern on it. If you've yet to see one, take a look at this black car when it comes back through. Pit side 1506 at 89 mile per hour. And the Catalina runs a 1667 at 79 mile per hour, not too shabby. And the red light there on the pit side leaves a little bit too quick. 465 red light. 1213 here on the tire side at 101 mile per hour. Pit side we see a 1389 at 94 mile per hour. You'll see our 1990 sponsors posted throughout the track here with their advertising signs. They help out with lots of things around the track here. They've been able to paint our bleachers and put up more guardrail and new fence for the spectators by the help from our 1990 sponsors. And we'd like for you to help them by going in and visiting with them. Whether you purchase something or not, stop in and see them. Grab up a business card and save a couple bucks right here at the gate. 1504 at 88 mile per hour on the pit side. Tire side we see a 1527 at 87 mile per hour. Tire and take a look at the type of work Leg Lighter Video is doing out of Ark City, Kansas. $12.90 at 104 mile per hour. Fourteen ten at 94 mile per hour. $13.32 for the GTO at 99 mile per hour that I'd like to take home with me. Here we are seeing double again with the Rollers car, pair of GTOs. I believe one was 0.2 of a second slower than the last one the time before. 1307 at 102 on the pit side. Tire side 1379 at 97 mile per hour. And a larger-than-life Pontiac station wagon on the pit side, GTO here on the tire lane. If you've joined us wanting to see all kinds of cars today, you're not going to see anything but Pontiac. Well, wagon gets out there in a bit of a hurry. We'll find out more about that car, I'm sure. This is our Indian Uprising, first ever here at Mid-America Dragway, sponsored by the Greater Wichita GTO Club and the Kansas Chieftains. 1160 to 112 mile per hour there on the pit side for the wagon. Not bad for a heavy car. Tire side goes a 1505 at 64 mile per hour. Twelve eighty three at 100 mile per hour. Tire side goes a 1733 at 53 mile per hour. Fourteen oh one at 97 mile per hour. Pit side is real slow. We had some trouble here at the starting line. He'll come back and try it again. Once again, we're broadcasting on 88.1 on your FM dial. If you're in your car, want to get out of the wind, 88.1 on your FM dial. Wayne Lloyd here on the tire side out of Illinois. He's come a long ways to race with us today. And I believe that's Sharon Wilhite there on the pit side. Ten fourteen, and we see some smoke on the other end. Not sure exactly what it was. It quit smoking, whatever it was. 118 mile per hour, 1014 for the little Pontiac. Pit side goes at 1205 with 108 mile per hour. 515 reaction there on the pit side for Sharon Wilhite. Once again, I'm planning on running time trials to around 1 o'clock today. If you just joined us, we're going to run time trials till around 1 o'clock. We will have a driver's meeting and have a parade for our show cars before the eliminations this afternoon. 1539 at 86 mile per hour on the pit side. Tire side, we see a 1537 at 89 mile per hour. Fourteen 16 at 94 mile per hour here on the tire side. The pit side 14 14, 94 mile per hour. Almost identical ET, same mile per hour for both cars. Fourteen 17 here on the tire side at 95 mile per hour. Pit side we see a 1479 at 95 mile per hour. $14.64 at 94 mile per hour on the pit side. Tire side, $15.29 at 88 mile per hour. $16.13 at 81 mile per hour on the pit side. Tire side we see a $16.58 at 84 mile per hour. Calls it the old Warrior from Ken Worley on the tire side out of Kansas City, I believe. $11.79 at 107 mile per hour on the tire side here. Pit side we see a 14.18 at 91 mile per hour. We got a real stiff south wind, kind of slowing the cars down, as you can see by the flags here. I guess it's just going to blow all day like this. Supposed to get around to 65 degrees to mark tomorrow, maybe a north wind. 1521 at 87 here on the tire side. Pit side goes to 1544 at 90 mile per hour. Of course, coming up next Sunday, we're going to warm things up with the jet cars out of Leveland Racing out of Texas. Ansel Horton, Randy Mulkey will be in here, paired up in a couple of jets. Hopefully get down there around that 260, 270 mile an hour mark. They're just jet engines with wheels on them and some finished body panels. And they do shake the earth out here. So if you're around tomorrow, make your way out here, and, not tomorrow, but next Sunday, I should say, and see what's going on with the jet cars. If you've yet to see exhibition runs from jet cars, they're really a lot of fun to watch. 1409 at 94 mile per hour. Pit side goes up 1402 at 92 mile per hour. 1601 at 88 mile per hour on the pit side. Tire side, we see a 1595 at 91 mile per hour. If you've never been to the track, you'll notice the cars back here in the water box are actually cleaning their tires off. Sand pebbles and debris of all kinds on a slick. They also get rid of the debris and heat the tires up. The tire has better traction once it's being warmed up, and that's what they're doing here in the water box before they pull up the line. Pit side runs an ET of 1182. That's 11 seconds, 82 hundredths of a second at 112 mile per hour. And the tire side here has an ET of a 1273 at 104 mile per hour. And we do have our souvenir stand open for t-shirts, hats, and lots of other items. Just behind the concession stand on the pit side. We're running time trials at this time. Plan on running them for near another hour here. Looks like everybody's getting plenty of them. Trying to find out what their car will run. Find out what that ET is going to be for the eliminations this afternoon. Working on their reactions also. How they react to the green light. We see a 1466 at 95 mile per hour on the pit side. Tire side goes a 1599 at 85 mile per hour. Make sure you get involved in that. We got trophies to give away today for that in each of our race classes and some of our show class. Thanks to Schofield Pontiac out of Wichita helping out with all the trophies today. Great looking trophies. And of course a lot of parts, repair parts from El Paso Auto Parts out of Derby, Kansas. Need to see Tom Wilhite about those. Pit side runs a 1555 at 90 mile per hour, and the big Catalina convertible runs a 1925 at 72 mile per hour. $15.23 at 88 mile per hour here on the tire side, and a 16.04 on the pit side at 82 mile per hour. $16.08 gets there first at 82 mile per hour here on the tire side. Pit side we see is $16.92 at 76 mile per hour. To know what their ET is going to be. Finding out how they react to this tree up here. Perfect reactions of 0.500. We just seen a 571 there on the pit side. Tire side gets there first with a 1357 at 98 mile per hour. Pit side we see a 1537, 89 mile per hour. Sharon Wilhide on the pit side with Wilhide Auto Service out of Derby, Kansas. We're getting help here this year from Wilhide Auto Service out of Derby. Also K15 Auto Salvage out of Derby. You'll see their ad here on the front of the tire. Tire side goes at 1098. 1098 at 120 mile per hour. Pit side 1198 at 108 mile per hour. Kind of a sleeper here on the tire side. $12.95 for the Omaha car on the pit side at 103 mile per hour. Tire side goes at 1404 at 94 mile per hour. Tire side gets there first with a 1462 at 94 mile per hour. And we see a 1652 at 84 on the pit lane. Performance helping us out, United Speed World. I'm sure you're familiar with both of these merchants if you're out of the Wichita area. Of course, Truett and Osborne helping us out. We have a bike racer every year, thanks to Truett and Osborne. And the Tire Store helping us out quite a bit, along with Rusty Eck Ford. And of course, Jim White Race Cars, Jarvis Auto Supply, Hall Speed Shop, Goolsby Transmission, and Don Service Center helping us out quite a bit. And Bosley Tires with 4 or 5 stores there in Wichita area, along with the Auto Mart store up there. 1684 here on the tire side at 81 mile per hour. Pit side 1785 at 70 mile per hour. Nice looking GTO, a little black car, I believe, maybe a dark blue. It's hard to tell from this angle. Gets pretty deep there in the lights. I'll back him up.
Car on the flip side, white TA.
Alex probably will.
Take those guys, once you take these cars down and then
$14.03 at 97 mile per hour. Here on the tire side, pit side of 1519 at 88 mile per hour.
Are we having fun yet?
Hell yeah, how you doing? Where's your Pontiac?
Yeah.
Win any money up there?
No, I got shafted.
You got shafted.
Yeah, we was going to pay 16 spots until it's time to pay, and then we was only going to pay 11. Then they got it down to 4. So they kind of bent Super Street over. I said, ouch.
How many rounds you got?
Well, went 3.
And a red light shows up here on the tire side, meaning he left just a little bit too quick. I mean, just a little bit. A 499 reaction. Once again, a .500 being a perfect reaction. He had a 499 and a run of 1286 at 101 mile per hour. Pit side goes to 1274 at 100 mile per hour. 16-16 at 81 mile per hour on the pit side. Tire side, we see a 17-15 at 80 mile per hour. We'll wait for the car to get off the track on the other end. He's slowly pulling away and turns these loose. We'll see what their ET will be here in just a second. $15.73 here on the tire side at 87 mile per hour. Pit side goes a $16.53 at 81 mile per hour.
Oh, broke 10 straight transmission. That's why we didn't go anywhere. But Wichita's about as far as we could afford to go. Huh? You were at
1426 at 93 mile per hour. Okay, some apparent problems there on the pit side. We don't know whether it's oil or water. I believe it is oil. We'll have to shut it down and get it cleaned up there, get him pushed back here. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and let Tom Wheelhouse make some pads here. Runs a 1085. He keeps going just a little bit quicker. I think he's run a 1088 to last pass at 119 mile per hour. And we do have some fluid on the line down here. Is it oil? And we do have oil. $14.09 at 96 mile per hour. Hopefully you've had a chance to get out and about out here and take a look at some of the show cars and some of the race cars. Get down into the pit area and take a look at the nice looking cars. A lot of beautiful Pontiac cars here today. Some of you may never see around the country. Usually keep these stuffed away somewhere. Some of them you'll see at racetracks. Most of them kept in a garage somewhere. Drove on special occasions. Seen a 59 Catalina out here a while back. I hadn't seen her in a long time. Okay, gets out of there real good with a 512 reaction for the GTO and runs pretty good too. 1206 at 109 mile per hour. $14.14 at 98 mile per hour. 1499 at 90 mile per hour. Once again, we'll run time trials here for about another hour.
What happened on the building?
1604 at 82 mile per hour for the little formula car. If you just joined us, we are running time trials. Some help from Elwood Marshall, Snap-on Tools. If you're needing tools to work on your car with, stop over and take a look at the Snap-on truck in the pit area. Fourteen 1482 at 91 mile per hour. Eighteen 14 at 63 mile per hour. And we're running out of one lane because we got oil in the other lane. They're cleaning up at this time. Once again, if you'd like a still photo of your car, we've got Jim Brock photos. You'll see them out here in the burnout box, also out in front of the starting lines. Sometimes lying down in places, I wonder if he's safe, but get some good pictures of your car as it takes off or in the burnout box. You need to visit with him if you'd like to see a picture of your car or somebody else's car for that matter. Sixteen 21 at 82 mile per hour. Yes, we've got power under the heavy body car, big Grand Prix. $17 14 80 mile per hour. Once again, with the stop action on the other end. And we have our Ultimate Warrior here. Watch him wrestle on TV from time to time. Didn't like that slow light there. He had to leave on that first one and gets himself a red light. Maybe he used to run it on a pro light. He gets down there fairly quick with a 1036. 1036 at 126 mile per hour for the Ultimate Warrior. Twelve 98 at 100 mile per hour on the pit side. Tire side 1396 at 93 mile per hour. 1437 at 94 mile per hour here on the tire side. A little slower on the pit side, 1811 at 70 mile per hour. Looking for consistency, not necessarily any speed, as long as your car is consistent. $14.51 at 92 mile per hour. Tire side $16.98 at 80 mile per hour. If you're getting hungry, we've got some good eats over in our concession stand. Pit side or spectator side, you're welcome to cross over. Of course, we have our t-shirt stand over here too, with some great looking t-shirts from Speedy's Print Shop out of Ponca City. Good looking Firebird here with the graphics on the side of the car. $12.29 at 108 mile per hour. Pit side 1306 at 102. $14.81, 93 mile per hour. Pit side 1631, 71 mile per hour. Set our program up today to run time trials to around 1 o'clock. And hopefully do eliminations around 2. We want to have a parade of show cars. We'll get more information on that here after 1 o'clock. We'd like to show them off to you also. Hopefully you've been out to look at the cars. And we got another car with Pontiac tire here on the tire side. Just a lack of traction. We was talking about the show cars. If you haven't had a chance to go out and take a look at them, we're looking for People's Choice today. Apparently they've got an entry blank available if you want to pass judgment on which car was your favorite. Make your way here north of the tower and take a look at some of our cars. $14.47 at 94 mile per hour. Pit side 18 flat at 71 mile per hour. 73 or 74 GTO. 64 GTO there on the pit side, and a 68 Firebird here on the tire side, I believe. 67 or 68. Both with good reactions. Definitely racers somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where they're from. Out of Kansas City area on the pit side. Runs a 1040 here on the tire lane. 1040 at 126 mile per hour. Pit side we see at 1188 at 105. Good day, I'm Richard Dollar with Mid-America Dragway, one of the owners out here. This is our Indian Uprising, first ever Pontiac drag race, car show and swap meet. And right now we're doing some time trials out here. It's about 30 minutes before we quit doing that and take a break. But in the meantime, we're going to take a look at some of these show cars out here and visit with some of the people. We've been, like I say, time trialing all morning. Guys trying to get their reactions down and get their ETs put down here so they can race this afternoon. And a lot of great looking cars out here today. And we're going to take a few minutes here and visit with some of the guys with the race cars and the show cars. So if you'll bear with us here a minute, we'll round somebody up and do a little embarrassing interview with them. Here we are at the Indian Uprising here at Mid-America Dragway, 1990 version of it, first time ever. And we found a victim here to talk to today. He's got his show car with him. We're going to find out what his name is and what kind of car he's got and what your plans for the day. I suppose you're just going to be showing today?
No, as a matter of fact, I've been helping out with the lanes, getting the cars in the lanes to run them.
And your name was what?
I'm Shelly Norton. I'm with the Greater Wichita GTO Club of Wichita.
You are out of the Wichita area then, and this is your car?
Yes, it is. 67.
What, 67 GTO. Have you ever raced it before?
No, I'm a little scared too. I'm afraid it'll fall apart and we'll have to take it home on a trailer. So
I don't think Pontiacs will fall apart. They're pretty good shape. We're going to take a look at your car from Leg Ladder Video, viewing your car. You made any shows out of the Wichita area?
yes, as a matter of fact, I've been in two of the club's state GTO meets out of Schofield Brothers, several others around the state.
Won any awards with it?
Yeah, I've won a couple of first, a couple of seconds with it.
You got a nice looking car here. We want to thank you for visiting with us today. We're going to go back here and pick on some of these other guys back here. But thank you for taking their time to visit with us and also helping out here on the racetrack.
Appreciate it very much. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Shelley. Okay, we're sneaking up on a guy here. He's trying to clean his car up, and we're going to find out exactly who he is here. Well, I think we've got the film rolling. If we can embarrass this guy here, we'll just do so. Can we visit with you just a minute? Let me find out who you are.
Don Duryea,
And you're from where?
Douglas, Kansas.
Douglas, what year car you got here?
69 Judge,
Good looking car. Is it all original?
completely original.
This is all original Judge car. Probably getting to be worth some money now, isn't it?
Yeah, worth a lot, going up every year.
Have you any idea exactly what it is worth?
About 16,000 probably.
Would you take 16? I just happen to have $16,000 in my pocket. Would you take that today?
I don't know, I'd have to think about it.
How
Probably
about you're sitting right here behind the drag strip. What do you think you'd like to get out there and see how fast it go?
Yeah, I tried it. Didn't do a very good day. I never tried it. So.
Oh, you have been out there trying it then.
Yeah, I've never brought it off the line for it. Didn't do it very good. I
Well,
tried it first.
At least you got to try it, and a lot of them have out here today, and we appreciate you visiting with us. You got a nice looking car, and I hope you enjoy our show. This is our 1990 Indian Uprising. Thanks again.
You bet. Thank you.
See you later.
All right.
Taking a picture of some stuff. Can we find out who you ladies are?
Kristen Duryea,
You're Kristen. Where are you from?
Douglas, Kansas.
And where are you from?
Douglas, Kansas.
And your name?
Margot Sheppel.
Margaret. And who's this sitting over here to your right?
Janice Duryea.
Are you with one of the cars here today? Which one's that? Both of these? Is this your car maybe? Okay, we're trying to find out. You drive this one? Okay, nice looking car. This car here's what year car is it?
75 Trans Am.
How about, have you had it out on the racetrack any? It has been out on a racetrack today. They've had this car out there. You know how fast it was running? You don't know? I think I remember the car myself. I think it's running around the 16 mark. What do you think of our show here today?
I'm enjoying it real well.
This is our first ever Indian Uprising, and we're glad these ladies are able to make it. And looks like you've been over to our concession stand, or maybe you cooked your own dinner today, but we're glad you was able to join us today. Okay, we're here at the 1990 Indian Uprising at Mid-America Dragway in Ark City, visiting with a young man here from where? Texas, I believe?
Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City. And what's your name and what year of car are we looking at here?
Well, my name's Stephen Prime, and I got a 68 GTO with a 400 engine in it.
It looked like you spent some time underneath the hood of this car. Just lots of chrome and decorations under here. You do all this yourself?
Yes, sir. Take a lot of man hours underneath this hood.
Yeah, we asked a guy a while ago what he'd take for a car. I only had about $16,000 in my pocket at the time. He almost sold me a car. Would you take that for this car?
No, I sure wouldn't. I don't think I ever get rid of this one.
Well, it's kind of, they're kind of sacred. I have some of my own. Have you been out here racing it?
Yes, I have. Turned about a 1406. The best this car has done is a 1354, and that's with 116,000 miles on it.
This motor here's got 116,000 miles on it.
Yes, sir.
Well, they spent a lot of time on this car, and it looks good, and he's able to race it. Not only show, but racing too. And I appreciate you talking to us. I appreciate you coming up to our Indian Uprising. This is the first time we've tried to do this, and I hope we can do it again next year, and you'll be here too.
I sure will. I like to see more of this with the Pontiac clubs up here, and I think it's a good thing to promote the GTO and all Pontiacs.
Well, we like the Pontiac shows. We've had a Ford and a Mopar this year, and really looking forward to the race today. The only thing we don't like here today is this wind.
It is wind a little bit today.
Yeah, it's going to slow the cars up some, and at least it's not too hot. We want to thank you again for visiting with us.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks again. This is our 1990 Indian Uprising here at Mid-America Dragway, and we want to visit with a young gentleman here with his car. We'll find out what kind of car this is. Find out what your name is first.
My name's Bill Hill from Wichita.
The Wichita area. And what year of car we got here?
This is an 89 Trans Am. It's a turbo Trans Am, one of the 89 pace cars.
I was going to say, it's got some added extras on there. Have you had it out here on the track yet today?
No, I sure haven't. I used to do that, but I gave that up a long time ago. I just show them now.
You just show now. You got a nice looking car here. Is this not something you apparently drive every day then?
Yeah, it's my daily driver. That's why I don't run it on the track.
You do drive it every day then. You still look like you spend a lot of time underneath the hood here and inside and outside of it. You make some shows with it, I take it then?
Yeah, I was in the Starboard show last January. I'm going to put it in again and start getting into a few more shows around.
Okay, you know how many of these cars were made like this?
Yeah, 1,550. This is number 1479.
So they are kind of a rare car then. Probably got some value to them, I'm sure. Like to see you get out here on the track one of these times, find out exactly how fast this would go.
Yeah, I may have to do that.
Yeah, you got some interest in that too. Well, you've got a nice looking car here, and we appreciate you showing up at our 1990 Indian Uprising. This is the first one, and hope to see you here next time we do it.
Well, this has been great fun. I will be back.
The wind is the only factor here today. We usually don't have that, but we have her today. But thanks again for coming out.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're here at the 1990 Indian Uprising, Mid-America Dragway, and found another young man here to visit with. We're going to find out what his name is and what year of car this is.
I'm Phil Brinkley. This is a 1959 Pontiac Catalina.
We seen you out here getting some time trials a few minutes ago on the drag strip up here. What kind of times were you running?
Well, I'm not too proud of it, but this is just a street car, and it's a heavy old son of a gun, so it's running about 16.5, 16.6.
I was going to say, you don't see many of these out and around. I don't believe I've ever seen one. You know how many of these cars are left in existence?
There's probably just a few hundred of the Catalina convertibles left that have been restored and saved.
I was going to say, there's just not too many of them around. We was looking at it earlier, and it's got an 8-bolt wheel pattern on it. That's a bit rare on some of them.
Yeah, that came out first in 1960, and I've adapted these over to fit this car, but they were quite prevalent on the bigger Pontiacs.
And it looks like we got more than one carburetor stuck underneath the hood here too.
Oh yeah, it's got the original factory tri-power, the triple carburation.
This is what we call a Pontiac tri-power then. 3.2 sitting under there. What's a cubic inch?
That's a 389. That was the first year that engine came out.
Well, I tell you what, I come out here today, I was going to buy a car, and all I got is $16,000 in my pocket. Can I take this car home with me?
Kind of doubt it today.
Kind of doubt that today. I don't think I'm going to get rid of this $16,000 I got in my pocket today. There's a lot of nice cars out here. The only factor we didn't like today was the wind, and it's slowing everybody down. And but at least the temperature is not too terribly bad here. Appreciate you bringing your car out to our Pontiac car show and drag race. And are you going to get in eliminations, I might ask?
I might. I'm not sure yet.
Well, we won't. We're going to invite you to get into it. I think you can beat some of them guys. Thanks a lot for talking to us. See you later. Pictures. What are you taking a picture of, Ken? You see something in there you like? There's no dirty pictures in there. We're at the 1990 Indian Uprising here at Mid-America Dragway here in Ark City, Kansas, and watching the wind blow is what we're actually doing here, but we found a couple of guys we want to talk to. We'll find out what their names are first of all.
Glenn Roller. Jim Roller.
Okay, we're also, you can't see the car behind us here, but there's a pair of these GTOs. These 64s, are they not?
65s.
65 GTOs. Are they pretty much set up identical?
More or less. His is faster, but we have the same basic stock Pontiac engines.
Okay, where are you from?
Wichita, Kansas.
Okay, I've seen you out here a time or two before, but don't see you racing too much. You just come out on special occasions?
Well, for the Uprising.
Yeah, you probably get into some car shows too, don't you?
Yes, we try and make 4 or 5 shows a year. This one was up in Columbus, Ohio last July for the national show and took first in the nation.
This one here we're next to. This yours then?
This one.
Okay. Well, they're great looking cars. We see them both out here racing, and I see they're running about 0.3 of a second apart. Ken's over here scanning across the engines and the cars themselves. I suppose you're going to get into eliminations today.
Right.
Good.
205.
205, you'll be on the trailer. Well, you got any predictions on how you might do today?
Oh, if we can make it through the first round, you know, I don't know.
What do you think about the wind factor here?
I don't like it, but welcome to Kansas.
Yeah, yeah. Last weekend we had beautiful, beautiful weather, and today we got nothing but a lot of hard wind. But you don't get out and race them too much, then you say?
We're not afraid to get them out. I mean, when you got to look at them like that, they got to run as good as they look. So it's like a nice cold drink.
Yeah, they do look good too. And I appreciate you taking time to talk to us, and thanks for your interest in our 1990 Indian Uprising. And I hope we'll have a first annual, is what I hope, and you'll be back with us on that.
Why not? Did a really good turnout.
Yeah, it's we was hoping for a few more cars, but we appreciate everybody that came, and thank you again for your time. Thanks again. We're at the 1990 Indian Uprising here at Mid-America Dragway in Ark, Kansas City, Kansas, and we found another racer here we want to speak with. We'll find out what his name is.
Bob Anderson.
Where are you from, Bob?
Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Apparently you've got a race car here, a Pontiac race car. Where you been racing at?
Tulsa, Mocan, and here.
I've seen you here a time or two before, I believe. What do you think?
First time with this car.
I was going to say, I hadn't seen this car before, but I want to welcome you to our Indian Uprising here and our car show. How you been doing with your racing program?
How have I been doing? Fighting this wind.
Well, yeah, you want any money this year, I guess I should ask.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, the wind here, we've had some good weekends here in the past, and I tell you what, that wind has come in here today, and it's got to be slowing you down.
Yes, it is.
It's got to slow you down probably close to 2 to 3/10, I take it.
Don't know for sure, but about 9 miles an hour.
Yeah, it does play havoc on you, but what do you think about today? You think you might be able to win this?
I hope so. I intend to.
Well, we've got evidence of it now. We've got you on film, and if you do, we got a film available. So if you do win it, you said you could, and I hope you do. And I want to thank you for visiting with us today. We will have a film available here for you from Legler. We're here at the 1990 Indian Uprising here at Mid-America Dragway, the first ever. And one of the guys that helped inspire this and put it together is Tom Wilhite. I'm going to let him tell you a little bit about how it come about, and we'll get pictures of some of his cars here. He's racing today too. But once again, Tom Wilhite, and how this race all come about.
Yeah, we got this idea from people on the East Coast have been doing this similar type thing. Just an all Pontiac drag, and there's also some people up in the Minnesota area, I believe, that's doing the same thing. So we decided, why not down here in Kansas, in middle of America. So that's GTO Club of Wichita and the Kansas Chieftains of the Kansas area decided to get together and see if we couldn't make this thing fly.
And once again, this is our first ever Indian Uprising. It is an all Pontiac drag show, or drag race, car show, and swap meet. We've got lots of show cars up here, a lot of good looking cars, and of course race cars too. And the one to our right here is your own personal car. How fast is it going?
It's been going 1085 is the best pass today at 120.
Okay, and this car here to our left is the red, I believe, a 58 Star Chief. You call the old Warrior.
Yeah, my wife made it go, I believe it was 1192 today.
Yeah, your wife drives this one most of the time. She was a semi-winner last week in our nostalgia race. And of course, you've come to the Tower time or two and picked up some money with this silver GTO, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got a little over $1,000 this year. Best year ever.
We're going to mention also too that you were the track champion here for the 1990 season. Represented us at the ET finals in South Dakota. And I want to thank you personally as one of the owners of the track, thanking of us for your Pontiac race and putting this show together.
Well, it's been a pleasure, and I hope we can continue for years down the line.
Yes, thanks again, 1990 Indian Uprising.